Here.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Here.
Trustee Shorzy?
Here.
Trustee McCarthy?
Here.
Mayor Savarino?
Here. Please stand and face the flag. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of our June 3rd, 2019 special workshop meeting?
So moved?
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Zalik?
Aye.
Trustee Laraca?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Aye.
Trustee Shorzy? Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes of our June 3rd, 2019 village board meeting?
So moved? Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy and the two on the left. Trustee Geezer, seconded by trustee Geezer. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Zalik?
Aye.
Trustee Laraca?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Aye.
Trustee Shorzy? Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
Under listening posts, we have a proclamation, June 23rd to 29th is Pride Week, and trustee Geezer called me and asked me if he could read that, and I would cherish that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. This is proclaiming June 23rd to 29th Pride Week. Whereas our nation was founded by a set of principles that every person has been created equal, that each has rights to their life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, and that each shall be accorded the full recognition and protection of law. And whereas the Carol Stream lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer questioning residents are a vital part of all fields and professions and contribute to a stronger community, and whereas Carol Stream is dedicated to fostering acceptance of all its citizens and preventing discrimination and bullying based on sexual orientation and gender identity, and whereas Carol Stream is strengthened by and thrives upon the rich diversity of ethnic, cultural, racial, gender, and sexual identities of its residents, all of which contribute to the vibrant character of our village. And whereas the month of June is traditionally recognized as Pride Month to commemorate the Stonewall riots of June of 1969, and whereas the Center for Disease Control recognizes that LGBTQ teens are at a higher risk to be the victims of violence and have increased suicide rates, and whereas it is imperative that people in our community, regardless of sexual orientation or gender identity, feel valued, safe, empowered, and supported by their peers, educators, and community leaders. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that the mayor of Carol Stream and the Village Board of Trustees, DuPage County, Illinois, in the exercise of its home rule powers, do hereby proclaim the week of June 23rd to the 29th, 2019 as Pride Week in Carol Stream, and urge citizens to recognize the contributions made by members of the LGBTQ community and to actively promote the principles of equality and liberty in the village. Proclaim this 17th day of June, 2019.
Thank you, trustee Geezer. Next is address from the audience. Mr. Rhodes, we don't have any? Okay, we'll move right along. Is there a motion to establish a consent agenda?
Moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee Laraca, seconded by trustee Frusaloni. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Zalik?
Aye.
Trustee Laraca?
Aye.
Trustee Giesers?
Aye.
Trustee Frusaloni?
Aye.
Trustee Shorzy? Trustee McCarthy?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, would you please read what is on the consent agenda?
Certainly. Under staff reports and recommendations, number one, we have recommendation to approve a contract for the sanitary sewer condition assessments to Red Zone Robotics, Inc., in the total amount of $1,049,118.40, $209,823.68 per year for 5 years.
Yes.
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 Just jump in on this one. The staff report indicates that the contract is being approved subject to my review and approval of the language of the contract. So I just want to make sure
Yeah.
that that's in there and that that's one of the conditions of approval for that contract.
So we could just leave it on and,
Yes.
okay, thank you.
Okay, and number two, TASER study program.
Yes.
Yes.
Number three, Phase 1, engineering services for WRC dewatering system replacement project with Baxter and Women in the amount of $38,000.
Yes.
Yes.
Item I-1 has been removed from the agenda, so that's under ordinances. Under new business, number 1, we have raffle license application, Chicago Veterinary Medical Foundation.
Yes.
Yes.
Under payment of bills, we have regular bills, June 4, 2019 through June 17, 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
And number 2, addendum warrants, June 4, 2019 through June 17, 2019.
Yes.
Yes.
And under report of officers, we have the treasurer's report, revenue expenditure statements, and balance sheet for the month ended May 31, 2019.
Yes.
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 Is there a motion to put those items on the consent agenda?
So moved?
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Swarzy. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Zalik.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzloni.
Aye.
Trustee Shorzy. Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Is there a motion to approve those items by omnibus vote?
Second.
Moved by trustee Swarzy, seconded by trustee Frizzloni.
I
Yes.
don't think there was a motion to place those on the consent agenda, right?
What?
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, I must have missed one.
Did I miss something?
Nope.
Okay.
So moved by trustee Swarzy, seconded by trustee Frizzloni.
Yes.
Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Zalik.
Aye.
Trustee LaRocca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesers.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzloni.
Aye.
Trustee Shorzy.
Aye.
Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Wow. Report officers. Trustee LaRocca.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. All I want to do this evening is I want to, summer's right around the corner, just a few days away from the first day of summer. I want to wish everybody a happy, healthy, and safe summer. And be careful when you're riding your bikes and you're jogging or doing all your summer activities. Be careful, and all you motorists, watch out for bikers and runners. That's all I have.
Thank you, trustee LaRocca. Trustee Giesers.
I will jump in on something trustee LaRocca said. There's so many people utilizing the bike paths. I think that was one of the greatest things the village came up with, that decided to get involved in creating the bike path throughout the community, because it's really well used, and if people aren't using it, they should. It's really a nice amenity to the community. My report, just a couple things. Want to thank the Carroll Stream Rotary Club. We just received a very generous donation from the Rotary Club for the Carroll Stream 4th of July Parade, so I want to tip my hat to them and thank them for being such terrific community group and thinking of the community and the residents of Carroll Stream. And speaking of the parade, there's still time. If you want to be in the parade, you can be in the parade. You can go to the website at www.carrollstreamparade.com, and there's an application. You can fill it out right online, and we'd love to have you in the parade. And if not, we'd love to see you along Lies Road, cheering everyone on and celebrating our independence. Thank you, and that's my report.
Thank you, trustee Giesers. Trustee Swarzy.
Thank you, sir. My only report is to remind the citizens of Carroll Stream to shop in Carroll Stream. That's all I got.
Thank you. Trustee Zalik.
My report begins with President Clinton declaring June Gay and Lesbian Pride Month back in 2000. So I'm proud to be part of the trustees and the board here and the mayor that they proclaimed June 23rd through 29th to be Pride Week in Carroll Stream. Everybody is created equally, and so they should be treated equally. So I'm proud to be part of this board. And on a lighter note, tomorrow is National Splurge Day. And in 1994, tomorrow is known to treat yourself, get away from the everyday business and stress of life, and do something good for yourself. So enjoy Splurge Day. And that is all.
Nice.
Thank you. I hope my wife don't know that. Trustee Frizzloni.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to echo what trustee Zalik just said and the proclamation that we read today. Carroll Stream is such a great and diverse town, and I really do think that we need to do more to celebrate the diversity that we have within our town. So I'm glad that we were able to bring that resolution to the village, and I hope that we do it every single year going forward. And with that, I will end my report.
Thank you, trustee Frizzaloni. Trustee McCarthy.
I'll agree with everything that was said on there already, not to repeat it. If you haven't yet, get out on Thursday nights. Our concert series is in full swing. The first two Thursday nights were outstanding. We had really great crowds. We had two completely different styles of music, and they were both, I'm not a big fan of the first one, but they did very, very well, and everybody liked them, and that's all that counts. But no, come out. You know what? It's such a great free community event. And if you want to, Cheap Eats, you know, Culver's is always there, the Rotary Club's always there, and the sponsors are out really showing what you can do as a community without having to come up with money out of the general fund. So if you haven't been there, every Thursday night starts at, food starts at 6, and the music starts at 7, goes till about 9 o'clock. So I hope to see you out there. That's the end of my report, sir.
Mr. Rhodes, our village attorney. Oh, I'm sorry. Madam Clerk, you're next.
I just would like to also echo everyone's comments about this being Pride Month and declaring this week Pride. And also just want to say to just keep our military in your thoughts and minds going forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rhodes, our village.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I only have one item tonight. Everyone knows that it was a rather interesting legislative session this year. We have some interesting bills that were passed into law. And our firm is putting together a couple of memorandums on some of the bills that will affect local government, and we'll be providing that to Carroll Stream as well as all of our other clients. I just wanted to let you know that we'll be doing that, and that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Rhodes. Mr. Meller, or
Yes, trustee Geezer mentioned the bike paths, and it reminded me that a big part of establishing the bike paths and getting grants for that was an employee that retired last Friday, our village engineer, Jim Knutson, retired after 30 years of employment. And thanks to Jim and his staff, they provided direction to the village board on storm sewers and street work, making sure that the village's infrastructure is in the great shape that it's in today. So we'll certainly miss Jim. But on the other hand, we still have Bill Cleveland, who is also a 30-year employee with the village, and Bill is the acting engineering services director and village engineer. So I wanted to make that mention. And then trustee McCarthy mentioned the Thursday night concerts. We also have a split the pot raffle during the Thursday night concerts. And the first two split the pots, the winner of the split donated the money back to the food banks of Carroll Stream, so we're very thankful for that. We have some very generous concert goers and residents. That's all I have.
thank you, Mr. Miller. You know, it's interesting. I read an article in the Daily Herald about bicycle consumption is down, where the bike makers are complaining that this generation that's coming up now doesn't ride bikes like the younger generation have just passed. You know, and we got all these bike paths, and you just wonder if the electronic, I call it the electronic highway, is taken over. Instead of them getting out and riding their bikes and doing stuff, they sit home and play games. I had that problem with my grandkids. You know, it's down to the point where if we're going to eat, we have to take the phones away from them. I mean, they can't put them down. It's almost like an addiction. But they don't want to go out and play. They want to sit on their pads and play games and stuff.
But if And just in my recollection of in the village, there's a lot of walkers as well on the path, so they are being.
That's a good thing.
They're being well used
lot
by
of
people of
I-
all ages.
I thought that was interesting about the
Yeah.
bicycles, because I would think that there would be more bicycles, because everybody's putting bike paths in, because they're being requested, so, but thank you. Other than that, I don't have anything, so I just want to thank everybody for the job that they've been doing on Thursday nights. I missed the first one, I made it to the second one. I don't even feel like I need to be there with the staff that we have and the board. Everybody gets involved. The money gives, thank God, the two of them gave the money back. That was very nice. One of them happens to be my secretary from here, our secretary. Denise actually won and gave the money back. I bought extra tickets so I could win to give the money back, and she won and gave the money back, so that was very nice. I won't say there's any correlation to being nice, but the first woman lived in San Diego, and that's the week that somebody won $523 million in San Diego on the lottery. So maybe somebody is watching and said, somebody from San Diego is nice, let's do something. So, my wife is mending, I feel a lot better, I'm getting back in the groove, so I appreciate everybody that's sent prayers and people that offered to do things and help. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Everybody here has asked, what could I do, what could I do? The police department, the fire department, everybody is, you need anything, let me know. She's on the mend, which is a good thing. I had her out today, which is even a better thing. So with that, thank you all. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by trustee McCarthy, seconded by trustee Frizzaloni. Clerk call the roll.
Trustee Zalick.
Aye.
Trustee Laraca.
Aye.
Trustee Giesert.
Aye.
Trustee Frizzaloni.
Aye.
Trustee Schwarzy. Trustee McCarthy.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned.
17 minutes.
17 minutes.